This is my journey to one pull-up. The pull-up is a compound exercise that requires a great amount of upper body strength. I always found pull-ups so impressive, but never came close to doing even one. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Zlat here if we haven't met before. So I have always been more on the skinny side with little to no upper body strength, and I have never been able to do a pull-up in my life. So at the end of 2020, I actually set up a New Year's resolution for myself to work my way up to one pull-up. I gave myself a full year, which sounded reasonable to me because I was starting from zero. Basically, when I tried to do a pull-up for the first time, I could only hang off the bar for 2 seconds, and the whole time it felt like my arms were going to come out of my shoulder sockets. So it was very uncomfortable, and after about 2 seconds my hands will start hurting and my grip would let go. The good thing about pull-ups is that you don't actually require much equipment to set them up. You can easily find a pull-up bar and some assistance bands on Amazon. They should probably not cost more than $100. And in my case, I actually was lucky because when I moved in with my boyfriend at the beginning of the pandemic, he actually already had all of that equipment available for me. However, when we moved in, I was so weak and I was not even able to do one pull-up. Even if I used all, I think 4 bands, I was just unable to pull myself up. So instead of using that equipment, what I did is I signed up to a gym and I tried to implement an upper body routine in order to strengthen my back. Here's the workout that I followed. I will put all the information up here, and if you want to see the workout in more detail, go ahead and take a look at my push-pull leg video, and I'll link it down below in the description. In about 4 months of doing this workout, I started to be able to progress in weight and start to get stronger. I was able to now engage my lats and mid-back, which are also muscles that you use during the pull-up. And the most important thing I found that I learned was actually how to retract my scapula. And that is an exercise that I used to do right before doing my lat pull down every time, just kind of like a warm-up. I would just do sets of 10, maybe 1 or 2 sets of 10 just before I get into my lat pull down. It is also an exercise that you could literally practice sitting at your desk. If you're just kind of sitting, it goes a little bit against what we're used to when we work because we're mostly hunched forward with our shoulders rolled up, but this movement of retracting your scapula actually requires for you to bring your shoulders down and back, kind of trying to bring your shoulder blades together. So it's gonna also kind of arch your chest up when you do that. And when you're just sitting and working, just try and practice kind of retracting your scapula. I find that's a really good exercise to also help you with your posture. So could I do a pull-up now? Absolutely not. It would have been way too easy. At that point, I knew how to retract my scapula, I knew how to engage my lats, I knew how to engage my mid-back, and it was actually time to practice. In my opinion, the best way to actually build up to one pull-up is to practice doing pull-ups. So at that point, I did include pull-ups in my upper body workout. I was using the assisted pull-up machine at the gym and I was working for strength. So I was doing very low reps, about 3 to 6 reps for about 4 to 5 sets, and I would be aiming to lower the resistance as much as possible. Over the course of about 6 months, I was able to progress from compensating for about 120 pounds to compensating for only 60 pounds. In parallel, at home, I was also using the pull-up bar we had with the bands, and I wasn't really following any kind of workout routine. I every time I would pass by the pull-up bar, I would just do a couple pull-ups. Sometimes I would set a goal for myself to maybe reach 10 at the end of the day or 15, and just kind of spread them out across the full day. Usually there will be one grip for the pull-up that will be easier for you, and in my case that was the neutral grip. That was the one that I was using at home, and when I was at the gym using the assisted pull-up machine, I was actually working on my wider grip. Because on the wider grip, even if I was to try it at home with the bands, I just really couldn't pull myself up. So I stuck to the neutral grip and I progressed with that one first. Obviously, best to work all of the grips in the same time if you can, because they do target different muscles. However, for me, the wide grip was just so difficult that I decided that I'll focus on it later. My goal was just to do a pull up, and it didn't matter what grip I was using. So another thing that really helped me was trying to slow down the negative. So a lot of the times people will tell you just work on the negative, do a jump pull up and then just work on the negative. For some reason, I felt that I didn't feel like I was doing anything when I was doing that. I didn't feel like a pull-up. So I would just try and slow down the negative. And that really helped to kind of gain my strength over time. Over time, I would just remove bands at home. So instead of 4, I would go down to 3, 2, 1, until at the end, I was actually able to just stand without hanging off of the pull-up bar and just pull myself up. So I would just go and do that every time. And eventually I was actually able to hang from the bar, which is a lot harder, and then pull myself up. So with time, it just kind of naturally progressed. You will also notice that your abs play a role in the pull-up. So for me, I actually never really trained my abs. I just trained them during compound movements that I was doing during my leg workouts. However, I do feel that if I spend some time training my abs, it could actually be helpful to my pull-ups. So that's maybe something that I might be focusing on in the new year to try and kind of improve the number of pull-ups that I'm now able to do. So if your abs are a weak point of yours, I would consider integrating maybe 1 or 2 ab exercises in your workouts. Now let's talk challenges. So to be fully transparent, doing a pull-up never really gets easy. Every time that I decreased the assistance on the assisted pull-up machine or I removed the band, it just felt like I was so heavy trying to pull my weight up. It really requires a lot of mental strength and determination, and it takes time. Honestly, it's just a slow process for you to gain kind of strength. It wasn't something that I was focusing on, obviously 100%. Would I have been able to get a pull-up much faster than 1 year? Probably. If you are starting from a bit of a better position where you already kind of have some strength build up, I do feel that you can get your pull-up a lot faster than I did. Personally, I also had a bit of a mental barrier where I didn't want to work out my upper body because I felt that I was just so bad at it. I was so weak. It wasn't enjoyable at all to me. Every time I would try to do the lat pull down and not feel my lats, I would just feel so frustrated. It did take time. It took time to figure out the proper technique. But although it doesn't get easier, it does get more enjoyable over time, just because you're going to progress in weight. And once you see that progression, is so encouraging. Back day is one of my favorite workouts at the gym now. So it was definitely worth it. You just need to get to that initial kind of 6 months where you don't know what you're doing. One of the biggest obstacles on my way was learning to retract my scapula. It wasn't something that I knew how to do or that I had to do when I started, since I was learning everything on my own. And one thing that really helped me was practicing it on the lat pull down as a warm-up. And then you can also practice as a warm-up once you start using the assisted pull-up machine or just bands at home. And it just really is something that help me pull myself up, just because if you're in a fully kind of vertical position, you just can't really pull yourself up with your back muscles. You do need to do that kind of retracting of your scapula in order to be able to engage your back muscles. And I think because I wasn't able to do that movement, that's probably why the first time that I tried to hang off the bar, I felt like my arms were going to come out of my shoulder sockets. But with time, once I was able to kind of retract and engage my back, I didn't feel that way anymore. It also helped me improve how many seconds I can hang off the bar. Finally, your grip also improves over time. One, your hands will probably develop a little bit of calluses that are going to help you hurt less when you're hanging off the bar. Your back muscles are going to get stronger, so you won't be like rocking back and forward. You'll be like really stable on the bar. If you do want something to help you, however, I did purchase gloves on Amazon as well, which was helpful for me. Sometimes, you know, it could help just in the beginning to have a better grip and really focus on improving on your pull-up rather than worrying about your grip. But over time, I really found that improved as well. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section. It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It does mean a lot to me. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and I will see you in the next one.